The Cyclops Family by RPG Grandma. Greetings, everybody. So, I found the Cyclops miniature model, which isn't that miniature, it's actually quite large, on eBay. And I was like, cool, an old Emperor's Choice model from back in the 90s. I believe this model is from 1999 specifically. And it's by John Bagger. And here's some images of the pieces and parts, and the process of trying to make those pieces and parts fit was a lot of sanding, a lot of epoxy, and taking it very slowly and just working the pewter, trying to use the epoxy to help fill the gaps as well as epoxy the things together. And this is common with older models, pewter, that sometimes things don't fit right and you're going to need to give it extra love. And as you can see, as the process went along, you can see the gaps between the parts, and even the epoxy that ran down there. That you fix that with a sanding with files, and I did a little bit of pre-primering him, but not a whole lot. And then I decided to get the gaps fixed. I'm going to need to model I use the green stuff, which is that blue and yellow clays that you mix together. I believe it was developed for plumbing first. But anyway, my modeling tools were my fingernails and, at the time, mostly paper clips. Clearly, I need to invest in more modeling tools. But I worked it, and gradually I built up and filled in the gaps and improved on him. And next to him is the current Emperor's Choice Cyclops. He is a smaller model, however, he is a much more structurally sound model. He's only 2 parts, makes it easier to put together, and he is by William Watt. Now, I started the priming here, and you can see that once I primered him, he looks pretty good. I also made his hoofs and his ankles bigger with the green stuff. I felt that helped his look in general. And then I started painting him. And then I decided he needed a girlfriend. Mr. Ugly here needed a baby's mama. He needed a big mama, just like him. So, unfortunately, nobody makes female Cyclopses. They just don't. I looked around, and I couldn't find anything really that I liked that wasn't I think I may have found 1 or 2, but they were like crazy expensive. So I was like, well, I got green stuff, I got tinfoil, I got paper clips, let us create. So I set out to sculpt my very first not so miniature. And I learned in the process I need to make the support structure that I'm going to put the clay, whatever kind of clay I'm using, over, considerably smaller, so that she wouldn't have turned out quite as big as she should. This was not what I was intending her to be, this big. But that's okay. It's a model. It's representative. And she's Big Mama anyway, so it's all right if she is actually Big Mama. I also learned I needed to leave wire at the bottom of the feet. I don't know why it didn't even occur to me that I should do that. But in retrospect, I was like, oh yeah, I should have done that. But I think I nailed the look as far as having her have a look similar to John Bagger's model right here. And I started painting him, as you can see. And these are some of the stages of the painting. I wanted a different color base than what I normally do. I usually do like gray stone or just black, and I wanted to play around with a more sandstone-y look, so that experiment's also going on. And models in general, whether they're plastic or metal, will come with flaws. And here's me starting to paint Big Mama. I wanted her to be dark-skinned with a lighter fur, whereas the boys are light-skinned with darker fur. And I wanted everybody to have this like slightly different look to them, just a little bit when it came to painting. Now I've mounted them on cardboard, and I have to create a mount really for Big Mama here, and I used stacked up glued on cardboard pieces and paper towels, and then I dipped her in sand and stone, and I dipped them in a little sand and stone too. Then I started painting over the sand and the stone to sort of create an effect, and then glue over that, and then more paint over that, and more glue over that. And here we are with the finished effect on that base and the finished Mama. So I think I did pretty good on Big Mama of the uglies, and here's the finished family. Now the little green guy, little spaceman from Galaxy Laser Team, he's about 2 inches, and he's there for scale.